Well, why red trousers? Well, we did say we're a fun-loving community, and that's how we started. We started when Paul's sons were teasing him about his red trousers, and I'll leave Paul to tell you the rest.
So I was running a curry night to raise some money when I was on treatment, and if I'm honest, the last thing I felt like eating when I was on treatment was a curry, which I probably didn't eat, but I was wearing red trousers to make myself feel better, I think. And in recognition of my son, who was feeling a bit surprised and uncomfortable about my wearing red trousers, I decided to organise an evening out on his birthday with all his friends to wear red trousers, to which all of his friends thought that was a cracking idea, and we met up in a pub in London. But at the same time, we turned it into a fundraiser, and we raised £1,200 on the night, and 30 people, 30 men in a bar in West End of London wearing red trousers caused a lot of curiosity, and the idea of the whole charity was born there, really. And my son's friends were all saying what a great way of raising awareness as well, you know, because they were all starting to ask, actually, what is bowel cancer? How do you spot? Oh crikey, I actually get a bit of blood every now and again. And I have to differentiate between fresh blood and maroon poo. So, you know, the whole idea was born on that moment, really, that maybe we can turn this into a campaign, which we did, and then it's become a charity that's now raised, in the last 6 years, over £200,000. I'm very proud of that.
Red Trouser Day is a fun-loving community who've come together because they've been touched in some way by colorectal or bowel cancer, either directly or through others that they love. And they've come together to try and eradicate this terrible disease.
Bowel cancer is the second biggest killer out of all the cancers, and that's mainly caused by the fact that it's caught so late. So through earlier attention, earlier diagnosis, getting people to pay more attention to themselves, I firmly believe that we can reduce this from such a big problem to a negligible problem. Bowel cancer diagnosis is probably one of the most frightening things I've ever had to encounter in my life so far. And I realised, having gone through it all, that it needn't have been that way. Through earlier awareness of the issues that our bodies might face, is something very dear to me, to help others to prevent them having to go through the trauma and the treatment that I went through. So it was an idea to raise awareness, to help others. It was an idea to give back, to say thank you for my own recovery. I've made a full recovery from quite a poor prognosis in the very beginning, so it's a massive thank you, but also to prevent others having to go through it as well.
Before I met Paul, long before I met him, I've experienced personal tragedy of cancer in my family and friends, and experienced personal tragic loss. So when I met Paul and he was diagnosed with bowel cancer, I wanted to do something to make a difference and wondered what I could do. But Paul himself gave me the answer. As he recovered so well and wanted to start Red Trouser Day, I just became fully focused and involved.
I established Red Trouser Day as a vehicle for others that wish to raise money and provide support to others but didn't know how. So we've created an infrastructure and a vehicle to facilitate that process. But also our charity is a little bit unique in the sense that we totally control where the money gets spent. Unlike many large charities that spend huge amounts on infrastructure, we're a volunteer charity, and 95% of the funds we raise actually get to fund research.
We bring together patients and clinicians. We have a fairly unique forum, so it's easier, if you like, hopefully, to achieve our vision because we have this unique community of leading clinicians who are doing all the research and their patients coming together into one community.
How will the charity meet that vision is through the quirky idea of large groups of people wearing red trousers raises enormous curiosity. It's fun, it's bright, it brings a bit of humour into what is otherwise a very serious and traumatic subject. So the idea is, through that concept, is to raise awareness, because that generates, as I said just now, it creates a lot of curiosity when you've got 100 odd people walking down the seafront or in a park wearing red trousers. But also part of that is to raise funds to support research and the progress of earlier diagnosis and earlier prevention and detection.
We had a nutritionist come and give us a presentation on how good nutrition can help people with bowel cancer, and he was from Peru. So we run virtual events as well as person-to-person events like that. So if anyone wants to give us knowledge, that's really gratefully received too.
What we're trying to do is build a reliable source of knowledge, because when you start Googling conditions like bowel cancer, you end up with lots and lots of material, and not much of it is that reliable. So we are building both a YouTube channel, so we actually do have some live videos, all accessible through our website. We're also very active on social media, Facebook, Twitter in particular. So you can find us in many ways, and please don't suffer on your own. Do make contact. info@redtrouserday.com. Come and find us.
And just one last message from a very dear friend who died and who was a Red Trouser Day member. He wants to tell everyone, and we have a lot of material from him which we're working on, that even if you have a fatal diagnosis, and he did, you can still live well right to the last moment. And we hope that our charity helps that. According to Andy, we do.
Don't suffer alone.